Economic freedom fighters will be hosting their June 16 rally here at the King Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi, where the leader of the economic emancipation movement, Julius Malema, will address thousands of EFF members and supporters at about 1 o'clock midday today, particularly coming from those disastrous electoral outcomes that the economic freedom fighters suffered in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I am going to bring in Mr. Snao Tambo just to essentially explain the essence of commemorating June 16 here in Umlazi, particularly after those disastrous electoral outcomes where you were dealt a heavy blow by one newly formed political formation.
Look, I wouldn't characterize them as disastrous, but we did suffer an electoral setback in 2024, and we have taken a decision not to give up on the electorate of KwaZulu-Natal because the people of KZN still need an organization such as the EFF. We know that there's an official opposition here in this province that has about 45% of the electoral vote, but we don't know the impact that they are doing. There's still corruption that is rampant across all of the regions of KwaZulu-Natal. Our people are still suffering from natural disasters which are going to peak in the months to come, and we still need an EFF in KwaZulu-Natal to ensure that people get service delivery, get water, food, housing, and everything that is necessary for them. So we are here to commemorate June 16, to remember the 1976 uprisings of the youth that fought against the apartheid system, and we are inspired by them, and we are here to commemorate that day with the people of Umlazi.
When you look at Umlazi, it's one of the biggest townships in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, followed by your KwaMashus, your Lamontville's, your KwaNdengezis, and many others, and Claremont as well, which has a huge history when it comes to the politics of our country, particularly Claremont and particularly Umlazi. What will be the message of the EFF leader Julius Malema to the scores of young people from here in Umlazi and the broader parts of KwaZulu-Natal that are ravaged by inequalities of poverty, inequality and underdevelopment coupled with unemployment?
Look, I think the President and Commander-in-Chief will outline how the EFF remains the most sustainable and viable vehicle to liberate our people from all of the challenges they are confronting, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. We know this is the most populated province in our country. It's a province with a rich history of liberation struggle, of traditional leadership and kings who have a high esteem in the history of South Africa fighting against colonialism. So we resonate with the bravery, with the spirit of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. And I think the Commander-in-Chief's message will be to emphasize that the EFF's doors remain open for the people of this province. It's still an organization that can fight for them and fight for their rights. And I'm sure it's going to reflect as well on the history of June 16 and how we must correlate those struggles with the struggles we're facing today and ensure that we vote out those who have betrayed the liberation struggle, which was championed by those who came before us.
When you speak about the liberation struggle, I'll take you to the years of the Black Consciousness movement, particularly in the at University of Natal, now University of KwaZulu-Natal, where the likes of Stephen Bantu Biko were there, the likes of Terra Lekota were there, and the history that is shared with the community of Claremont, where they resided at the time. Then you go to the bus strike by Umsizi Dube in Lamontville, where it was asnamali to use to pay for Ukopeleteni in order to be able to go to work. That was the municipal buses at the time. When you look at those struggles of those people just within those particular areas, your Archie Kumetes in the Claremont area where the other political parties will be, your Mangosuthu Telis as well, who is just his political party just down the road from here at that university named after him. When you look at this rich history, was it all in vain, particularly noting the struggles faced by young people and broadly South Africans at large?
I think the dreams of those who struggled before us for liberation of the black child have been deferred, and we see our people are still living in terrible conditions akin to the apartheid era that those leaders were fighting against. The cost of living is skyrocketing. Just recently, the EFF was fighting against an increase in value-added taxes, which would have meant an increase in the cost of food. And now we know that there's been an increase in the fuel levy, which will have a ripple effect on the increase of goods and services because everything is transported. So you can see that the former liberation movement has abandoned the struggles our people fought against during the apartheid era and has actually become a resemblance of this very regime that they fought against against pre-1994. So I think it's a painful reminder to all of us that we have betrayed the likes of Steve Biko, the likes of Msizi Dube, and the EFF is fit and proper and can serve the purpose of rehabilitating those struggles and reviving them and putting them at the center of discourse in our country.
Mr. Tambo, lastly, do you think that the IEC should be given more powers to police political funding in the country? The IEC's political party funding symposium will take place here in Durban on the 18th to the 19th to deliberate on this particular matter. What is the view of the party on the loopholes with the party funding and the political parties? What with getting away with not making declarations? What's the EFF's view on that particular symposium that will be held by the IEC on the party political funding?
Look, I think it's important. We don't think that the IEC is currently monitoring that arena correctly. And we have seen, especially period the 2024 elections, where there were organizations like Change South Africa of Roger Jardine that got 35 million and then just didn't contest elections. So that's a form of money laundering, and we've declared that before. So a lot of more work can be done to regulate political party funding, but also to protect our democracy from the infiltration of money, because our democracy is being weakened by vested interests such as the Oppenheimers, the likes of Martin Marshall, and individuals who are funding and creating political parties for the purposes of breaking the vote and ensuring that there's no stability politically. So I think that would be good work, and the EFF will follow that closely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Esnautamo. That is Mr. Esnautamo, the spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters.